Today we're talking about the 10 reasons why most agents fail and what you should do about it. For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey, are you new to my channel? Let me give you the backstory. Several years ago, I made the decision that I was going to put out as much value and content into the marketplace with one intention in mind: help real estate professionals like you get better and sell more real estate. So if you're getting value from this, I strongly recommend you subscribe and join our community. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 134. Today, I want to unwrap the 10 reasons why new agents fail and people that are joining teams are failing every single day. Now, having been in this space for 29 years, I can tell you this list could have been 100. But when I thought through decades of working with new agents, watching senior agents bring people into the business, watching owners and managers recruit in mass brand new real estate professionals, there were 10 reasons why I see people missing the opportunity and not earning the money that they want and ultimately ended up failing from this business. Let's take a look at what you should do about each of the 10. Number one is interested versus committed. Now, think about this. I'm going into the real estate profession. As we all know, real estate is generally speaking not a profession you jump into straight out of college or high school. There's not many people on the planet that wake up and say, guess what I want to do when I grow up? I want to be a real estate agent. No, the vast majority of the people that get into the space come in a second, third, or fourth career. And in many cases, they failed and failed and failed. And this is the last ditch effort, an opportunity to strike it rich and make money. And yet, most of them are just interested. You know, they're interested in success. They're interested in doing what it takes. They're interested in being the kind of real estate professional that can win the type of business that we all want. But we both know there's a big difference between being interested and committed. This is a mindset thing, my friends. Commitment is, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what, for as long as it takes to be successful. Interested is I do it when it's convenient. I'll make my calls when it's convenient. I'll learn the script when it's convenient. I'll create my plan when it's convenient. I'll be resourceful when it's convenient. You know the difference. Let's look at number two. They're not strategic. I meet with agents all day, every day. And inevitably, when we're talking about planning or their market or growing their business, I'll say, talk to me about the way you look at your marketplace. How strategic are you? For example, do you look every single day at the hot sheets? You know, every new listing, every pending, every sale, every price reduction or amendment. And are you paying attention to the real strategic pricing trends of your marketplace? Can you talk strategically to buyers and sellers about the data and the math of your market? Do you know that condos are not selling and residential is selling? Or, you know, two stories aren't, but those old bungalows that were built a long time ago are being bought and traded and fixed and flipped every single day, as an example. A big reason why people fail is they go into real estate and they say, I like houses and I like people, and they basically get excited about whatever's on Caravan versus stepping back 30 or 40,000 feet above and looking at the marketplace and asking yourself, where do I fit in? Where could I have the greatest value? What market is hot right now? What market is percolating on its way up? And what has clearly jumped the shark? Most people aren't thinking strategically, so they literally show up like this. Bang, 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 bang. Whatever happens, happens. That's a big reason why they fail. Let's look at number three, fear of mistakes and the desire to look good. I get it. I mean, we see the photos, we see the look and style of many real estate professionals. They want to look good, but here's the reality. To be successful in life and in business, especially in business, you have got to go make a ton of mistakes. Every good agent will sit you down and say, look, let me tell you about all the areas that I screwed up, the time that I forgot to follow up, the time that I forgot to put a CTA on a direct mail piece, the time that I did an ad and there was no phone number. I mean, it's just mistake after mistake after mistake, and then learning the lesson. That's how the best people get great at this business. You have to say to yourself, if you're new or joining a team, that my number one focus is to make as many mistakes as I can and learn as many lessons as I can. Because from that, you have wisdom. You become wise. You actually know what works and what doesn't. And you've got that sort of gap, if you will, between not knowing and knowing, and you've bridged it. And that's when you become successful. So I would encourage you to make as many mistakes as you can. Look at number 4, no or wrong role model. I think of the old great line, we are like the 5 people we spend the most time with. Our income is in direct connection to the 5 people we spend the most time with. Well, what if you're watching this and you're a brand new agent and you're in a class with a bunch of brand new agents and you're looking around at what they're all doing? Well, guess what happens? We begin to model the behaviors and the mindset of the people we spend the most time with. So as a brand new agent or someone joining a team, you need to consciously decide, who is my model in the real estate industry and what's most important to me? As an example, maybe you want to model someone that is highly skilled and highly technical, and they've been selling real estate for 10 years, not too far from where you are as a brand new agent, or 5 years, and they're ridiculously successful, but not just successful in their business, in their relationships, with their money, the way they manage themselves, right? Everything they do is the whole package. The mistake that most people make is they have no model. So they just get stuck in the minutia of the agents around them that also aren't selling any houses, and like attracts like, my friends. You get the point. Who is your role model in this business? Who are you aspiring to be like? Who are you looking up to and saying, she's the one, he's the one, and then dissecting how they think, how they walk, how they talk, how they plan, how they market, everything that they do, and then you R&D, which is something you're going to see a lot on the Tom Ferry Show. We talk about it, R&D, right? Like if you work for a Fortune 500 company that a research and development group, well, in real estate, we call it rip off and duplicate. If someone else is doing something successful, we want to cut their face off, change the phone number, put our face on, hit print, and go, metaphorically. Let's look at the next one. Number 5. I talk about it all the time. Their gas station is only open 1 day a week for an hour. You're in a sales and marketing business. The number 1 reason why people fail is they don't bring in enough clients, right? They don't attract enough clients. So as a brand new real estate professional or brand new to a team, what I'm going to stress to you is, if you want to guarantee failure, do what the masses do. Don't market, don't do lead generation, talk about things like prospecting is a bad thing and it's not something you're interested in, you don't like rejection and all that other BS. And I promise you, you will have a slow, painful death in this business. On the flip side, if you say to yourself, I'm in the sales and marketing business and my number 1 job is to go attract customers every single day, and you take on the same philosophy we believe, which is there's no wrong way to do it. Know yourself, know your skills, know your DNA, and then know your market and what are the opportunities, and be strategic. So for an example, we talk about the core 4. If I could wave a magic wand, every agent around the world would focus on the core 4 and then build their business from there. Their database, that's number 1, right? The people you know that already like you and trust you, hopefully, and you can bring them value and ultimately either win their business or their referrals, right? Obvious. Number 2, open houses, right? Open houses are an opportunity for you to be in the marketplace, talk to buyers every single day, talk to potential sellers and neighbors, and if you know what to say, you can win a ton of business. Number 3, geographic farming, right? Picking a community where the turnover is 5 or 6 or 7% and planting your flag and saying, for the next 18 months, I'm going to become the agent, the knowledge broker in this subdivision of 200, 500, building of 250, whatever it may be, and become the knowledge broker, become the most requested talk-to agent in that area. Lots on the Tom Ferry Show about every one of these, so go deeper there. And then the last one, of course, is online. And if you've been watching our shows, whether it's doing live video, advertising on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, Zerple, Derple, Bing Bang, and everything else, right? Making sure that your presence online is attracting opportunities, buyers and sellers, and following up and winning. Those are the core 4. And what I'll tell you is, the big mistake is, people think that they can do a little bit of marketing 1 time a week for an hour and run a successful gas station. Be really clear. Agents fail every day in this business, not because they have too many listing appointments, not because they have too many buyers they're working with. It's the opposite. And the only way you solve that, my friends, is through marketing and lead generation. If you don't get that, you're not going to get the business. Look at number 6. Monday through Friday, 9 to 6 mentality. As I mentioned earlier, this is a 2nd and 3rd and 4th career industry. So people are coming out of Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, 40-hour work week, and exhausted on Friday at 5 because they put in so much time. Well, what do we know about the real estate industry? All the money is made before 9 and after 5 and Saturday and Sunday. This is an industry where you have to say to yourself, I don't have a job. This is my business. That mentality, I don't have a job. This is my business, and I'm going to get from it what I put into it. And in the beginning, be really clear, my friends, you gotta dig holes like nobody's business. You gotta roll up your sleeves, put in all that time, that sweat equity, learning the market, understanding the strategy, making all the mistakes, doing all the marketing, doing all the lead generation. And in many cases, it's probably more metaphorically like my mentor Bill Mitchell once said to me, growing up on a farm in Michigan. He said, Tom, if we wanted water, we had to go outside and pump and pump and pump and pump. And only after a minute or two of pumping did water ever show up. Well, that same metaphorical example for you, pumping is the time you put in, doing the right things every single day, and removing the thought of Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, removing the mentality of job and putting it into, this is my business. This is my business. This is my livelihood. And the more I put in, the better. All the money's made before 9 and after 5, and all the money's made on the weekends. Get that, and you're gonna succeed. Number 7 is no sales swagger. We know the National Association of Realtors came out decades ago and said the vast majority of people getting into the real estate business came in with no sales and negotiation experience and no marketing experience. And the first time I read that quote from Stefan Swanepoel in one of his trends reports, I said to myself, the vast majority of people come into this business with no sales, no negotiation, and no marketing experience in a business that those are the essential skills. And I remember writing down that quote and saying, the real challenge is most maintained it. And that's why they failed. They failed because they don't know what to say. They failed because their fear of rejection stops them from engaging with a prospect, from talking to a potential buyer, from emailing or texting or making the phone call. That fear of rejection, my friends, only comes from not knowing what to say. Again, go back over here, fear of mistakes and the desire to look good. I've actually said to new agents before, if you really want to become successful in this business, if that's really your desire, what you should do is put yourself in a situation, in the potentially hardest possible selling situation ever. Do it over and over and over and over. Learn the objections, handle the objections, close, get rejected, get hung up on. And by doing that, you know what you create? You create experience. And then when you call a friend, it's easy. I actually tell people, call for sale by owners, call expired listings as a brand new agent. Learn, cut your teeth on these people, the expireds that listed with another agent and it didn't work out. And they're not taking personal responsibility. They're going to blame the agent, the marketing, the lack of, the bad communication, etc. And the for sale by owner, the DIY person who actually thinks they can do it on their own, even though the stats show less than 8% of for sale by owners in the US ever sell on their own. And yet there's a market of them. And if you're a brand new agent and your desire is to become insanely great, work with those people for the first year. Two things will happen. First, you'll sell a ton of real estate, because that's the automatic. But the flip side of that is, guess what? You will know what it's like to work with, quote unquote, the most challenging customers, gain tremendous experience when you meet that next person at an open house, or you're knocking on a door inside your geographic farm, or you get a referral from a friend, right? Everything becomes easier because you know what to say. Sales swagger, my friends, is a game changer. Let's look at the next one, number 8. This will sound funny, but no goal, broken into the numbers that get measured. This is a business. And the reason why most people mistake, again, they fail because they're interested, not committed. A committed person is going to state a goal. I'm going to sell 18 homes. And what we know is every 40 to 60 conversations for a newer agent, every 40 to 60 people I talk to, I'm going to generate enough leads and enough interested opportunities to make one transaction, to close one sale. So we reverse engineer 18 times 60 as an example. And then I say to myself, therefore, I need to talk to this many people every single day, new people every single day. And I start to do the work and then I measure it because as many people have discovered, what if you find out that number is actually only 40 people you have to talk to? Or better yet, what if you discover it's 163 people you need to talk to and you've only been doing 40 expecting to get the one and you find out it's 163? That's not a bad thing. That means you know your numbers, right? That means you're no longer doing this. Come on, 7. But what if I told you instead you could plant the dice the way you wanted to win time and time again? That's how predictable this business can be. Whether it's buying internet leads, running an ad on Facebook, doing a direct mail piece, making phone calls, this business is math. but it's only math for those of us that have the goal, reverse engineer the numbers, and track and measure so they can make good decisions. Big, really important point, and I think you can imagine there's a big reason why most agents fail here, because every day they're just hoping and praying for 7, and we both know the person rolling the dice doesn't win. The house always wins. Look at number 9, poor schedule, or worse, weak routines. You're going into this business. It's your business. This is not a job. This is not a Monday through Friday 9 to 6 thing. This is your business. I've said to 100,000 people, show me your schedule, show me your routines, and I can predict your future. I've done many episodes on the Tom Ferry Show around the ideal schedule, the ideal routines. I just want you to think about it metaphorically like this. If you tell me this is your goal, right? I want to do 18 transactions, but your behaviors and your schedule are modeling someone that sells 3 houses a year, where do you believe you're going to end up? We know whatever your routines and schedule, wherever they're lined up, that's where you finish. So it's important that you break down, hey, I've got to talk to 8 people every day, better do that in the morning. Hey, I got to study the market, better get that in my schedule. Hey, I need to look at the numbers every single day, get that into my schedule. Hey, I need to make my phone calls, schedule appointments, schedule meeting with my broker, schedule, and then follow the schedule. That makes sense? Again, so many people fail in this industry because they think, oh, I'm going into real estate, and what's so great is now I don't have the man telling me what to do, or my old boss, she was so tough, always micromanaging me, and now I'm free to do whatever I want. Generally speaking, when people have too much freedom, guess what they do? Nothing. Nothing. People that have excessive amounts of freedom usually end up flat broke, dependent upon the government and certainly out of the real estate business. Discipline is required to build a business and be successful. If you struggle with the big D word, you're going to need more help than the Tom Ferry Show, my friends. And the reality is, you're probably going to fail in this industry, or you're going to be in it for 20 years and sell a house now and then. And I would call that still a failure. Now, the last one, number 10, a lack of financial management. Surprise, surprise, you're building a business, right? What if your broker said to you, hey, welcome to real estate, here's the reality. You need $100,000 in the bank. You need 6 months of your total cost of living set aside in an account. So if you don't close the deal for the first 6 months, you're okay, but you actually need more than that because you also need money to build your business. You need a website, you need leads, you need marketing, you need this, you need that. And they actually gave you the list, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. I thought I can get into real estate, make these big giant paychecks, and had not a lot of expense, could just go see some houses and follow up on some buyers and do some deals. The reality is, my friends, those days are gone. It is so uber competitive out there. And the mistake that most people make is they have poor financial management. And guess what? Because of that, they run out of money. Or they make investments in their business and they weren't prepared for it. They weren't paying attention to the natural cycles of when people are listing and when they're buying and when they're closing and how long it takes to close a transaction. I'll tell you a cute story. One of our clients, Jill Biggs from Hoboken, New Jersey, said to me, I had a brand new agent who basically sold their first house and said, now when do I get paid? And what she meant was she opened an escrow and was looking for a paycheck. Brand new agent, God bless her, that's super cute. But she didn't understand that now we got a 60-day time period for us to get through the inspections and do everything you have to do to close the deal. Bad money management, and Jill knows she had to do a little coaching and training with that agent. So here's my question for you. Are you watching this video through the filter of, okay, Tom, I don't want to fail, so I'm going to do the opposite? If you are, my advice is go back through the Tom Ferry Show, search every one of these points, because we've gone in depth on the tactical, practical, how-to, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so you can model success and become successful. Are you listening through that filter? Or could this possibly be the moment where you say, you know what, if this is what it takes, I may have chosen the wrong career. And if that's the case, I would say to you, congratulations. Now go do something that you're passionate about. Go find something that you can work Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, because real estate is not that game. All right, I can't wait to see the comments. I know this is a long show. Can't wait to read the comments. Can't wait to see what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, always your strategy matters, and now more than ever, your ability to do the opposite of why people fail, that's how you win. Talk to you soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We have a number of events coming up, and we'd love to have you there. Visit tomferry.com/events and reserve your spot today.